going to try to tap a tree today. Actually, we're going to just put another tap. We already got one here. You always want to tap a tree towards the south side, because that's when the sun gets more sun.
Okay.
And the sap travels at night, goes down, and in the morning goes back up. So a lot of time it freezes. If you do it on the north side, where it's shady, it freezes in the tube, and then you get less sap. You know, it takes a long time for the sap to warm up before you can go in the bucket. So try to do it on the south side if you can, or east or west. Don't go to the north unless you have to. All right, you need tubing. We got 2 feet.
Where'd you get the tubing?
Everything you get on Amazon.
Okay, just asking a question. People want to know.
Okay, Amazon has everything. So it's either
What is it called?
Sap tubing.
Okay.
Or, you know, tubing for sap.
Okay.
2 feet, 3 feet, you get different sizes, because if I put it here, 2 foot will be fine, but if I want to go here, I need 3 feet. So get
Right.
2 different sizes. Now you need a drill bit, a drill, and a mallet.
What kind of drill bit? Or like
The
what
drill
size?
bit we use is a 7/16.
Okay.
That, you know, you want to make sure that's a little bit smaller than that, and you want to go only about 2 inches, 1.5 to 2 inches. I put tape around here, so that way when I drill, when it gets here, I know where to stop.
Oh,
You don't
that's a
wanna
good
dig
idea.
You don't want to go too far in,
Right.
and you don't want to go not enough in. So
Will that damage the tree if you go too far in?
Well, if you go too far in, then the tip of the tree will be in the middle, and it's not going to get that much sap coming out.
okay, got it.
I mean, you'll have about 1 inch. You can even go up to 3 inches if you have to, but I think 1.5 to 2 inches is the perfect
Is the
size.
ideal.
Okay? So now, when you drill, again, try to get the south side, and try to drill in an angle like this, a little bit downwards. You don't want to go straight in, or not this way, but you want to go a little bit downwards like this. Like gravity makes it easy for the sap. And then you just drill. Okay, and now you're gonna start to see the sap coming out. We get to 2 foot. See the sap? Can you zoom in? You can see the liquid coming out. Look. Can you zoom in?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I see sap coming out already. See it?
Yeah.
Okay, now you just put this in there. Get the mallet. That's it. That's all you do. You don't want to go too far in because you want to pull it out, but try to make it tight. And this already got a hole on it. Put the tube here. Always use food grade buckets. You don't want to use a regular Home Depot bucket or anything like
What
that.
kind of grade?
Food grade.
Oh, food
you
grade.
Store the food in there.
Okay.
That way it doesn't go bad. And people don't use 5 gallons bucket. They use like 2 gallons, because you don't want to let it sit here too long. But because I'm retired and I have plenty of time, I usually come out every 2 or 3 days and collect it. So
You have bigger
you don't want to
buckets.
let it sit here too long, because
Right.
if the weather gets to be 45, 50 degrees in the daytime,
Right.
it could go bad. It gets cloudy,
Oh.
and the sap goes bad. Then it just funny. So you want
How
to
often do you drain the buckets with a big bucket like that?
Sometimes I can go every 3 days. It depends on the weather. If the weather is in a 35, 40 degrees in the daytime,
Right.
because it has to be above 32 in the daytime and it has to be below 32 at night. That's when the sap moves. In the morning, when the sun hits the tree, it warms up to like 35, 40, and it sucks the sap out. And then at night, it goes down in the ground. So like I was saying, usually the best time to collect sap is in the middle of February. It depends on the weather. You want the weather to be above 32 in the daytime and below 32 at night. Also, if you tap this on the north side, the sap that is in this tube, when it gets cold at night, it freezes. So even though the tree has sap that moves up and down, this tube is frozen. It's in the shade, so it's not gonna, dirt out at the time. That's why you want to do it on the south side, so it gets more sun. And the way you can tell the bark of the maple tree, it's kind of hard to tell. It's got these white spots on it, and it's very, very hard bark. It's usually easy in the summertime to tell, because you can check the leaves. I'll show you later what the leaves look like. And what I do is in the summer, I check the leaves. It's easy to spot it, the sugar maple, and I mark it. When I have green and white, I know that's a sugar maple tree. If it's just white, it's a silver tree. And if it's red and white, it's a red maple tree or cherry tree. And that's it. I got a bunch. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buckets here, and I tapped about 20 trees this year. Usually get about 3 or 4 gallons at the end of this. Collecting maple is a lot of work. And I gotta go back and forth every couple of days, no matter what the weather is. Not easy. See if I can do this one hand. All right. Okay. And now we go on to the next one. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, now the fun part begins. I'm gonna filter it. This is just a sap. We're gonna get whatever little debris is in there. It goes into this big boiler here that I just made. And we're gonna boil it down from here. And then we're gonna place it in another pot. All right, from the boiler goes into this pot. Then when this boils down to about half or more, we transfer into this pot. Then when this boils down to about 3 or 4 gallons, we bring it inside and finish it off the stove. Once in a while we have to skin it, get all this foam from the top.
This is the process of maple syrup.
Okay,
My husband created this
evaporator.
evaporator, it's called.
Yeah, made it with
He
cinder
built it
block.
himself. He made it with cinder blocks. So what are you doing now, Carmine, with this?
First, this holds about 30 gallons at a time, all right? Mm-hmm. So what I do is I fill it up with the sap, and then as it boils down, I keep adding to it. I started with about 130, 140 gallons so far. Remember, it takes about 40 to 50 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup.
Okay.
So as it's boiling down, I just add new sap. Then when it gets down to about 10 gallons left or so, I finish it off over here on a propane. Because you can control the heat more. Then when it gets down to about 3 or 4 gallons, I bring it in the pot, then bring it inside and finish it on the stove because you have more control.
Okay.
Because once you boil all that sap out, you have to get the temperature to 219, and that's when the syrup is done. But you also check the sugar content. So that's it. So out of 130 gallons, I'm probably gonna get about 2.5 gallons of syrup.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. You get this foam on top of it.
The foam from
Yeah, every once in a while it's all.
Oh, you have to skim it?
Yeah, every once in a while you keep it.
Oh, like when you skim soup, like the fat from the scoop.
Yeah, it's more like
from the
sugar
soup.
sand. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You pick it up now. You don't have to do it later with the filter, so it helps out.
Okay.
Otherwise, it clogs the filter.
Okay.
All right, now we check the temperature. 213. Still gotta go.
And where'd you get that thermometer from?
Yeah, online. Amazon has everything. Now we check
It's specifically for
the
syrup?
syrup. They make it for alcohol also, if you want to get it for beer.
Okay.
But you get them one for the syrup. It don't matter. They're both the same. All they do is they tell you the sugar content. And when it gets to be to like 60 bricks,
Right.
it's ready. So now
And
let's see what the.
let's see what the temperature is.
Okay, ready? Oh, it's coming up. See?
Ah,
It's where are we here? It's 50 right now. Actually, it's 55. See it?
yeah.
And it has to go to 60, minimum 60, a little more than 60. 69
What happens
is
if it
perfect.
goes over 60?
If it goes over 60, it's too thick. He'll have a lot of sand underneath, sand particle. And if it's before 60, it's too liquidy. It's too runny.
Okay.
So, that's...
What's the maximum you can make it go to?
Well, you could do whatever. You could burn it.
Oh.
But,
What would the temperature be at the burn stage?
well, all the water evaporates, and then it's going to stick to the bottom of the pan. But
okay.
you don't want to get there. You just want to keep an eye on it. Because right towards the end, this is
But the
very
ideal
critical.
temperature is 60, is that correct?
Well, not the temperature. The bricks, the sugar content, 60%.
Oh, sugar content,
or whatever.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I gotta learn all this terminology.
yeah, and you got to watch this when if you leave it alone, sometime it boils over. Look, like right now, if I'm not watching it and I have it too high,
Right.
it's going to foam up and it's going to come over and then it's going to make a sticky mess. Because you don't want to put them super high when it gets to this stage, because what happens is if you have it too high, it's going to have a lot of that sugar sand underneath because you're cooking it too fast. So you just got to play with it.
Okay.
All right,
Are we
so-
ready to?
No, it's got to wait. And then the other thing is, once it's ready, once it reaches that temperature, I used to filter right away at the beginning.
Right.
But now I learned that if you do it right away, it's not good. You have to wait till the temperature goes to like 195, 193. Because if you do it when it's 219, all that sugar sand goes right through the filter. So if you wait till like 190, 192, the sugar fan gets caught in the filter. It cools off a little bit.
And then that's when we first made it. That's why all the sand was in the bottom of the jars, right?
Right.
Okay.
Because I thought the filter that's a special
everything.
filter for it.
Right.
But the right filtration. And this commercial place, they have like a commercial filters that cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're a special filter with pressure and everything. I don't have
But
that
for
kind
a
of
homesteader who just wants to do it at home, you're
Yeah.
not spending that kind of money.
I
So
think-
this is the filter again. This cloth thing is the filter.
Well, what
and
I do here now,
And my
I put-
husband built the stand.
This is the main filter for the final syrup.
Right.
This a pre-filter. You usually do that earlier. There's 3 of them. The reason why I put the other ones here is sometimes the syrup is so thick and it gets all clogged up. So when I'm done, I take this one out, and then when I'm done with this one, I take this one out, and then everything will come out.
Oh, okay.
Just make it easier, because if you just have that one big filter,
Right.
the bottom gets clogged with all that sand, the sugar, and nothing comes out. All right, 193.2. You see it? Can you see that? Oh, it was just 192 point. That's good.
Okay.
Anything over 190 is good. All right, this is the final filtration. I got the filter. Now what we're gonna do is try to get all that sap out of here. This is what I got out of 120 gallons, 130 gallons, so
That's
maybe
it?
about 3 gallons.
That's going down.
It's coming out. Yeah, very slowly.
How long typically does this take to strain all of this?
Well, depends. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I don't know.
It's a lot of work.
What kind of question is that? Something,
Well,
what's that
people
about?
want to know. It's a how-to
It depends how
video.
much syrup you have. The more syrup you have, the longer it takes.
All right. Well, that goes without saying.
Jeez.
Okay, how many gallons did you start off with?
About 120 something, almost 130 gallons.
And how much would you say is in here? That was
Probably 2.5 gallons, 3 gallons. Like I said, it takes anywhere between 40 to 50 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup, and that's if it's sugar maple trees. But I have a lot of silver trees around my house, sugar maple, so then
and the ratio is different?
yeah, the other trees are sometimes 80 gallons,
Oh.
60, 80,
Oh.
Well, not 80, maybe 60. 60
So
to
this
1.
is what kind of tree? Sugar maple?
Most of them are sugar maple trees, but there are some walnut maples, silver maples.
and that
they
gives you
mix in
more?
there. No, that gets you less. Sugar maple trees are the most, you get most syrup out of them.
Oh,
They're
okay.
the best. The next one I think is black maple, then is silver maple. They got so many different types
I
of
never knew there were so many maples.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
now it's going down slow, right? So this is the idea why you do more than one.
Oh, I
Now
didn't
you
know.
take one out,
Right.
and most of that stuff gets caught in there. Okay.
What do you do with that now?
Well, just got to filter, but you get a lot of. you know, a lot of sand over here, sugar sand, you know.
Oh, so you put that in the pot, do it back later?
No. I'm just saying, you take one out at a time. So that way, if I would have just used the one, it would have got clogged. It would take forever to filter.
Oh.
But because I'm using 3 of them, you know, see how dark, see all the sugar sand on this?
Right.
So it eliminates all this from going to the main one. Then you do the next one.
Oh, I
That's
see.
all.
How many did you put there? 3?
3. I mean, you don't have to put 3. You can put 4. You can put 1. That's a good 2. What I'm saying is, if you don't use any of these, you just use the main one.
Right.
Once the sugar sand clogs up the filter, it's going to take forever to drain. It might not even drain all the way. You know what I'm saying? But by doing this, you know, I'm draining them one by one. And if you look inside, see all the sand, all the sugar sand?
Oh, wow.
So I'm stopping it here instead of go through there.